Welcome to Up and About. I'm your host, Eniola Lunge. On Up and About, we actively pursue the development and the prosperity of the African continent. The show is transgenerational. This means that we will be sitting with business leaders across various industries with varying levels of experience in order for us to gather and learn from the wealth of experience that they have gathered over the years. On this episode, this is the one on the fintech industry. And to help us do justice to the conversation, please make welcome with me Abel Adejoh.
Abel Adejoh is a graduate of architecture from Covenant University. He became the lead architect at Pertinence Limited in 2015. With over 500 residential and commercial designs to his name and over 25 built projects, Abel is experienced in spatial analysis, management, and construction. Based on personal experiences with money and the desire to resolve the ever-lingering overspending problem amongst young people, Abel co-founded Petty Save, a digital savings and investment platform with further interest in real estate acquisition plans for millennials, and currently operates as the CEO.
Hi, Abel.
Hi, Helena.
Good to have you here. Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for
I
having me.
appreciate it. Thank you for accepting my invitation. So on the conversation today, we are going to be talking about how you got into the fintech space, and then we're going to be talking about, just the general fintech industry in Nigeria, the policies that can, ensure that we see growth in the industry, and why funding is important for, fintechs, amongst other things. All right, so you already know what we're going to be speaking about today, but before we go into the meat of the conversation, we'll be taking a quick break, and we'll be right back. Welcome back. This is still Up and About, and we are just about to delve into the conversation. If you're just joining us, welcome. We have in the studio with us today Abel Adejoh, and we'll be talking on the fintech industry today. So first of all, let's just go right into it. How did you get into the fintech space?
Okay, my story is a very funny one. Back in December 2015, I decided that I wanted to start saving money for myself, right? Because I was making a lot of money from where I was working.
Why did you decide to start saving? What changed?
Okay, so let me just go back a little bit. An architect by profession, right?
Okay.
So it might surprise a lot of people that are now in the fintech industry. Good enough, like I'm an architect in demand even up till now. So I was making a whole lot of money right from when I started my career in 2014. And even me, I couldn't believe the kind of money I was making, but I was just spending it like as fast as possible, right? And at the end of the year, when people are buying shiny stuff, I don't have anything to buy because, as the money is coming, I'm killing it. And I thought I can't continue like this, really. So December 2015, I contacted my carpenter to make me this wooden colo box, right? And said, okay, I want to save 1,000 naira every day for the next year, because I did a math that, okay, with 365,000, I could even travel out of the country for, holiday or something. And I posted this on Twitter and it went viral.
Wow.
Yeah, it went viral, and I sold over, I think, 300 of those boxes. Yeah. And, I sold one at 2,000 naira, I made one at 400 naira. So there was like huge margin on it.
Yeah, that's
And
like times 4.
Exactly. So I sat and thought that, I can't sell these boxes to everybody in Nigeria or every young person in Nigeria. So how can I make this digital? It was a very loud thought, and I put it on my Twitter page. Maybe I shouldn't have, but I put it on my Twitter page, and it just stopped there for some years. And, not up until when we launched last year, January 2019. The work on Petty Safe started in 2018 anyway. And that was because, as of 2015, I didn't know anybody in the fintech space. There were no fintech companies, or should
There
I
was
say
really
there
no
were
fintech industry at that time
digital
in
savings
Nigeria.
and investment companies. So I didn't really know much about tech. I didn't have the finance to, start a tech company on my own without hiring the programmers and all of that. So I just kind of deferred that, thought and everything up until 2017. When I met my co-founders and, discussed the idea with them. We started the conversation up until 2018, and, that was how we were able to, start Petty Save.
I think that's fantastic. So what I've learned from all what you've said so far, you took a local solution to the problem that you had, and you made it available to everybody everywhere. And so that is, I think, so I mean that's really the power of tech. So you could reach 300 people with your wooden colo boxes, and now you can reach 3 million people with your petty safe digital colo box. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So you mentioned that you could not start, the tech company with by yourself. First of all, you didn't have the technical know-how, and then you also mentioned you didn't have the finance, you didn't have the funding. So, how is it that fintech always needs so much funding?
Okay, so that's like something we need to debunk when it comes to the fintech space, because there's this general consensus that before you can run a fintech company, you need huge funding to start. Not necessarily, because it will interest you to know that PetSafe, we are still self-funded, and that's not because we've not gotten offers for investment, right? So the money is not even the most important thing from the start, right? It's the team. So it's not necessarily, fintech doesn't necessarily gulp a lot of funds to start. So if you don't have the technical know-how, I mean, you don't have the operational know-how, obviously you're going to spend a lot of money, right? But a lot of companies get funded for very basic reasons, and it's not bad at all, right? The reasons are for user acquisition and marketing. User acquisition is like very, very important when it comes to fintech, the fintech space. It could cost between 1,000 and 2,000 naira to acquire just one customer.
Wow.
It could be as low as 500, depending on your strategy. So imagine you have an aim of 100,000 users in your first year, and you have to spend 500. That's about 50 million naira. Not many people have 50 million naira, and that's just user acquisition. We are not talking of PR. We are not talking of salaries from start and all of that. So that's why a lot of companies are being funded, and that's why it might look like, oh, okay, the fintech industry needs. So it depends on your strategy. For us now, I can say we offer the best products out there, but we are not perceived as the best fintech, company. And I'm not shy, or how do I put it now? I'm not shy to say, okay,
Exactly.
that's the,
I mean, you know
that's
what you
the
offer.
case right now, and that's because most of our fellow fintech companies have been funded in millions of dollars. So they have the speed, they have much more room,
Velocity.
to acquire more users and all of that. So we have a different strategy we are coming from. We have a lot of underground works that are going that wouldn't require any external investment, and we'll keep being self-funded.
Wonderful. I love what I'm hearing. So if you're out there and you have this wonderful idea that you think is a great solution to whatever problem, and you want to use tech to, fast track and just make it available to everybody, what Abel is telling you is that you don't need all that money. So from where you are, start small, start with what you have, start with the people that are in your corner, start with the money that you have. If you want to reach a customer base of 1,000 by the end of the year, just do it a little by little. At the end of the day, you'll see that. And so there's this quote that I like: little by little, you will travel far. And so I think that is what is necessary, based off of this conversation that we have had now. And I would like for us to go on to address the issue of finding talent and finding technical people who are actually skilled at the work. But before we answer that question, we have to go on a short break. So don't go anywhere. We still have a lot to talk about with regards to the fintech industry. So we'll be right back after the short break.
I think I have some of the best developers in the country, and every CEO will say that just to make his company look big. But I mean it when I say I have some of the best.
Did you know? 1. Sub-Saharan Africa is a global leader in mobile money innovation, adoption, and usage. 2. Digital currencies backed by central banks could become reality, according to a paper published by the International Monetary Fund in June 2019. 3. It is projected that fintech revenues in Nigeria will grow to $543 million by 2022. 4. Nigerian fintechs raised $679 million in 2019. 5. It is estimated that there are about 250 fintech companies in Nigeria. Now you know.
Welcome back. I'm Eniola, and this is still Up and About. Today we have Abel Adejoh to walk us through the fintech industry. And we had just finished speaking on the funding parts of the business or of the funding industry, and now we are going to the talent aspect. So most business owners really don't have the technical expertise required for the business, and so that's why you have to hire the talent. And so I just want to ask you what your experience has been working with technical people, the challenges, the successes, all of that.
Hiring talent is very, very crucial. It's like the most important part of starting a company, right? In our first year, I wasn't even proud of my own product because we paid some remote developers. I think we lost about, I would say lost because we had to build an entire mobile app, an entire website from scratch. We contracted some external guys and paid them almost $22,000 or so, and they gave us a very, very rubbish product. Yeah. Substandard even makes it sound
like there was substandard in it.
Exactly, and that was because we weren't sure of who to hire, we weren't sure of where to go and all of that, and I just had to plug back to my roots. I graduated from Covenant University, and I know that we have this Covenant University developers community.
Okay.
Yeah, and there are a whole lot of guys who code, who are programmers and all of that. So going forward, I had to go to school and speak to the guy who runs the entire place. Okay, I need 2 programmers. What can you do for me? That's my own personal experience. But for the fintech industry, there are different ways with which you could hire talent, right? When you are just starting off, nobody knows you, so not many people are attracted to you. The way to go about that is you selling your vision to them. So, most times when companies become very big, you don't even get to meet the CEO of the company when you are being interviewed or something.
Yeah.
So you just probably meet the HR manager, and we have so many stories about HR managers in Nigeria. It's like 90% of them are, I don't know the English to use, but let's just say they are very strict or something,
Okay.
and not so welcoming, and that alone pushes away talent. But at the beginning stage, you as the CEO, you understand the vision for your company, right? You know how to sell your vision.
Exactly.
And that's the best part about hiring. Sitting with this talent and just discussing the vision of the company, discussing how they can grow in the company. For companies who have done 5 years and they've gained a lot of traction in the market, once you hear that so company wants to hire you, you don't even think about it. You just send in your portfolio and all of that for them to assess, and you keep praying. But for us, when
yes, please come and help us.
it's like the other way around. We are hoping that this huge talent will choose to work with us and grow with us. Yeah. But for us, I can say we are pretty lucky. I think I have some of the best developers in the country, and every CEO will say that just to make his company look big. But I mean it when I say I have some of the best. And these guys are not even, let's say, up to 3 years in the industry, but the speed at which we solve problems, the speed at which we come up with new features and all of that. And why they joined is just because of what I mentioned. I met them personally, and we had a lot of chats and all of that, showed the vision to them where we are going. This is how you grow in the company. I see you becoming the CTO at some point. When people hear that, and it's not just word of mouth, they see a clear growth path. Yeah, that attracts them. So I can say my guys are not the best paid in the entire country, but just because they've seen where they are going.
I think that's absolutely fantastic. And I think that is very novel also to the fintech industry, because you find that many business owners, many people who are at the top of, at the helm of affairs, they really don't really care about, the people who are working for them. And I think that it's a different climate in the fintech industry, because I see that people who are in that industry are actually very invested in their people. And I think that is wonderful. So now to ask you, do you think that the fintechs, what do you think is the future of fintechs in Nigeria? And do you think that the space is already saturated? Is there room for improvements? What kind of improvements should we be hoping to see in the next years? So let's just know that.
Okay, so if you ask the random person out there, they'll tell you it's already saturated.
Yeah.
But I promise you,
From the inside.
yeah, from the inside, we don't even have enough fintech companies, right? When we started off, it came off as, oh, this is just another fintech company coming to steal our money, this and that. And, we just had to weather that storm and build the trust factor up until where we are today. If someone asks me that question, I mean, I've gotten that question many times and I don't answer it, I just throw a question back to them. Do you think the banking industry is oversaturated? We have over maybe 25.
Yeah, we have about 25 banks.
Yeah, 25 banks, and they all do the same thing. And we still complain about each and every one of them.
Yeah.
So no one will actually satisfy you to the point you want. So in the fintech space right now, you might not be able to count up to 10 or even 5 prominent, digital savings and investment companies. I broke it down to that because fintech is very broad, very, very broad. But if we are speaking about digital savings and investments, it's not, we even need more to come up.
Okay.
Really.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much. So if you're discouraged by the big boys in the game already, or you just see all the big companies, like, where do I even start from? Start from where you are. Start today. You don't know where you will get to in 5 to 1 year, even. So what you want to do now, okay? Because when you get to 5 years later, you're going to be like, I should have started in 2020. And you can watch this video again to hear me tell you so. So we are going to be talking now about the importance, whether or not it's important to have a co-founder, because I think that's something that's also very prevalent in the fintech industry. And we're also going to be talking about the Y Combinator Fellowship, because I see that a lot of fintechs on their bios, Y Combinator. I'm like, what is this Y Combinator about? But we have to go on a short break, and we'll be right back with more on Up and About.
You get various types of grants. We were privileged to get a $10,000 grant from Y Combinator. You can go to as high as $25,000.
How to succeed in the industry. 1. Simplify the financial process. 2. Address your customer's pain point. 3. You would need a management team, a development team, and a customer support team. 4. Collaborate with traditional financial institutions and other fintechs. 5. Make the customer journey interactive.
Welcome back. This is still Up and About. My name is Eniola Lunge, and with me in the studio discussing on the fintech industry, I have Abel Adejoh. And we have spoken a lot on the funding aspects. We have spoken on talents. We talked about how he, got into the fintech space because he had an issue with savings and he wanted to rectify that. And so he made a colo box, and now he has a globalized colo. So if you're looking for a globalized colo, you already know where to find one, PettySave. But before we go into what PettySave is about, let us talk about the importance of having a co-founder, because you also mentioned that you didn't have the technical expertise to start the business until you met your co-founders. So what's the big deal about co-founders?
Okay, so there's no big deal. It sounds cool.
It does sound cool.
If I was a programmer, I don't think I would have needed a co-founder from the start. So a co-founder is not so important, it's the team that is very important, right? You could have a co-founder and your team is filled with incompetent people and your business goes to flames. really. So having a co-founder, many people have co-founders just for various reasons. People come together to form companies. It could be a group of 3 people, for instance. I have the idea, this guy has the technical ability, this guy has the
The
money.
business acumen.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's 3 people coming together to form the company, right? So and they become co-founders. But if you are someone who has all 3 put together, you might not need a co-founder, but really,
Two heads are better than one.
yeah, you should get one because you might start growing white hair like at the age of 25 or something. There are a lot of things to do, and you definitely need more heads to put together.
Wonderful. I like that you say, I mean, teamwork makes the dream work, definitely. And so now I want to ask you, what exactly is the Y Combinator about?
Okay, Y Combinator is a very, very broad, should I call it a topic now? They are about the biggest venture capitalists in the entire world. They fund companies, not just tech companies, different companies really. But their focus lately has been on tech, and not necessarily fintech. It could be agri-tech, health, real estate tech, and all of that. So they're about the biggest venture capitalists in the entire world. And apart from just funding companies, they have something called Startup School, and I was privileged to attend Startup School last year. So you want to start a new company, be it tech or in any sector, right? They have this Startup School that runs for 10 weeks, and they have experts from different fields come together to teach you stuff about business. Then they pair a lot of businesses in groups. So for the 10 weeks, you are in a group of 5, and the other 4 are different every week, right? And from different sectors. So you share your pain points, you share what you need as a company, because there are a lot of connections that come from being in
Wonderful.
the Y Combinator Startup School, and it really helped me a lot too, because a lot of things I thought I was doing right. You'd meet someone in India, maybe with the same model and
Giving you a better way to
something
do
faster.
it.
Yeah. So we helped a lot. We helped each other a lot. During Y Combinator Startup School, and I can say anyone who wants to start a business right now, that's like the best place to go.
So is it free to attend, or do they invite you, or do you? Or
It's
how does
actually
it work?
free.
Okay.
They have, I think they start in October. I think they have 2 different sessions. They start in October and maybe February. I can't remember
Okay.
now. So it's free, but they don't accept everybody,
Okay.
right? Because they have over, I think, 500,000 applications at every given time, and they select the best, I think, 10,000 companies. And if you have a very good product, you have a
Exactly.
good business plan and all of that, they select you. And if you are good enough, if at the end of 10 weeks they find out, oh, your business is doing well, you get various types of grants. We were privileged to get a $10,000 grant from Y Combinator. You can go to as high as $25,000, right, based on the traction your business has grown and all of that. So,
Wonderful. So it sounds like a business boot camp.
yeah.
Wonderful.
Something like
So final question, could you walk us through how PettySafe works?
that. Okay. So I'll give us the basics, because if I'm to tell you everything PetSafe can do, I think
We're going to be
for the
here.
next 1 hour. Right? So we are a digital savings and investment platform for now. I say for now because we are pivoting into different sections of the fintech industry, right? So it's very easy to join PetSafe. So like I explained my story, right? I was making a lot of money, but I didn't know where to put it, right? So PetSafe is that guy who says, okay, let me help you keep some of your money. Let me help you make it grow, right? So what we do for people is we help them save, we help them invest their money in different sectors. We're also moving into the real estate sector right now, because we noticed a lot of millennials are dumbfounded on how to acquire real estate. The average age of a landlord in Nigeria right now is like maybe 55, right? With our real estate section of PetSafe, we are trying to cut that down to as low as 25. So very soon we are starting something called the real estate acquisition plan on PetSafe, where with as little as 1,000 naira, yeah,
I love it.
with as little as 1,000 naira daily for as many years as you want, you can own a property, be it land or a house. So we are not just sticking to finance, but that's been the bulk of what we've done
So far.
so far. And it's very seamless, very easy to join PetSafe. I mean, we have our mobile apps on the iOS and Google Play Store. I mean, you could use the web app also, petsafe.com, and very easy to join.
Wonderful. So if you're looking to get on a investment financial savings platform, PettySave is your guy. If you're looking to, build that generational wealth. So that's the last question for today. But before our guest goes, we want to get to know you better.
Okay.
So it's nothing serious. So let us know. Just pick one. So we have 5 questions. No, just say the one that you most agree with.
Okay.
So sneakers or sleepers?
Sneakers.
Native or corporate?
Native.
Breakfast or lunch?
Lunch.
Vacation or staycation?
Vacation.
I think because you say you needed some money to save money
Yeah.
to go on vacation. Finally, mainland or island?
Island.
Island. All right, thank you so much, Abel, for coming on the show today. I'm sure that everybody at home who has watched this has gained a lot of insights into the fintech industry, and hopefully we see more fintech startups popping up. All right, so that's all the time we have on the show today. Do make sure to catch the show same time next week. Have a lovely week.